Hello everybody, I'm here today to show you this very large card. It is 8.5 by 5.5, and all it is a entire 8.5 by 11 piece of paper scored at 5.5 and then creased. I'm making these big cards for the kids at the school to write their names in them to give to people who have organizations that have been giving to our kids so they could have just an extra special Christmas. And we have quite a few organizations and key people. So I'm going to be making these, and this one is for Mr. Richard McKinney. He decorated our school for Christmas over the weekend. He got a tree and garland and bows and wreaths, and it looks beautiful. So I'm going to be sending him this card with all the kids' names in it. Now the tree is from Create a Critter, and it is, let's see, oh, there I go, kicking the camera again. I don't have it in front of me, but it's an icon. I'm trying to think what it's an icon to. Well, anyway, it is Create a Critter too. So this has 4 layers, and I've already attached most of the layers. It has a brown layer for the trunk, and then the yellow layer for the star and some of the ornaments, and then a red layer which will eventually be the rest of the ornaments. And then there's this green layer which we want to ink up a little bit. And I'm using Distress Ink Pine Needles, which seems to be my go-to ink these days. And just going to add some inking. This was a afterthought on the first one, but I really love the way it looks. And all the papers from Recollections. And I kind of wanted to emboss it with a distress, I'm sorry, I can't speak today, with a Cuttlebug embossing folder, but just trying to be quick about it. It's getting down to the wire here. I have so many fun things I want to get going on. Kind of want to be working on. So anyway, just trying to keep it simple here. And then we're going to add that to that layer. Now I did add some faux stitching, which I will not do on camera, but I think it really makes it look extra special. I tried to not add any faux stitching, but I really like the way that looks, so it's up to you. It's all in the eye of the beholder. If you like the faux stitching, you know, maybe you don't, and so we'll leave it off. Okay. Now we're going to add some of this Tambo multi-liquid glue, which you've probably heard me say, but maybe you're new to me. I like this better than the Scotch because of the nib on it. It's really nice and easier to control the flow of it. The bottle on the quick dry, the nib is very, very big, and so the glue blobs out when I do it, just because I know it's because I squeeze it too hard, but anyway. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now we need to cut or assemble the rest of our card. And so we've got some papers. These papers here came, this one and this corrugated. This was a set that I got at Michael's last year. It was on clearance. I really didn't need any paper. I'm going to ink the edges of this too, just to give it a little more interest. I didn't need any more paper, but it was on clearance, so I picked it up, and it had jute in it and little clothespins and it's really cute. So, and I really liked the craft paper with all the pretty patterns on it. So this is the angle. We are memory keeper. Oh, you know what? I'm not angling this one. Let's just put this part together. Okay. So this layer here is 6 1/4 by, make sure here. I'm sorry. It is not. It is 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then this one I cut 5 inches, and I think it's 8 inches, but it doesn't matter. All I'm trying to do is create this layer here. This paper, the corrugated paper, which I knew where I could, where I could find. I'm sure I can find it online somewhere, but I like it. I like the texture of it. I'm gonna rip this one here, this edge, just so it looks like a little snowbank. And I'm using the green layer for a guide as to where to attach it. Make sure this is even here and straight right up there. And then now I can line this up here exactly where I want it. Okay, and then we're gonna angle them. Angle this one. And please leave me a comment if you know this. What is this size called? This size card. I always make A2, so that's really all I know. But what is this big card called? When you just fold the 8.5 by 11 in half. If you know, please tell me so I know the terminology. Okay, and then this layer goes here. Make sure to put tons on that part. I want it to fall apart. Now see oh, there we go. I was going to say it doesn't show very much, but I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And then what I did was I took my, what is this, yellow stickles and stickled the star and the yellow ornaments. Uh-oh, it's dripping. Drippy, drippy. Okay, let's get underneath there. Doesn't matter. Don't be fussy. Okay. I just want it to be nice. I have 2 things I'm working on right now in my life is less fuss, which is not easy, and I mean not just in crafting, in my life in general. I can tend to be fussy sometimes about silly things. And then decluttering, just fighting clutter. I'm not really, I don't know, those are just 2 things I'm working on. And then we're going to use this awesome stuff, this Podge Dimensional Magic. I am hooked. Love it. It's probably going to be one of my fave new items for the year, if we do those videos again last year there was tons of videos on YouTube of people sharing their favorite products that are new to them. I like doing that because then we learn about products that maybe we don't know about, which could be a bad thing. It depends on who you talk to. But I enjoy it. I think we should do that again. Oops, I got myself a bubble there. So you gotta let this dry. So I'm gonna put this up where I won't put my hand on it. And then what I did for the sentiment was very simple. Cute emboss here. I gotta move that out because I just got a piece of red scrap paper, and I'm gonna, it's the EK Success powder tool. You can take the stickiness off of stickers too, but it's awesome because I like that. I don't like the texture of that embossing buddy. And this is from the Stamps of Life Trees for Christmas set that I haven't used other than the Merry Christmas. I'm trying to use my Cricut for everything from now on. I mean, not from now on, forever, I'm just saying, these days. And then this is just white embossing powder. See how nicely it doesn't, I find that white colored embossing powder just sticks everywhere. Get my tool. Just cut this by hand. This is part of my Don't Be Fussy therapy. Cutting it by hand. I know Robin's laughing at me right now. I hear you. And then we're gonna glue this. Because normally I would get the big drummer out, measure, which is fine, you know, nothing wrong with that. I'm a complete fan of measuring things out. So we're trying to be quick and not fussy right now. I mean, not we, I am. And then there, voila. So let me get my card back up here. And I'm just gonna stick that there. I'm gonna use the Mono Tambo, or Mono Multi, because of the corrugated is so textured. We want to make sure that, and there we go. And then when this is all dry, I'll add the stitching around the entire thing. So thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.